So, not to extrapolate and get too far into the black hole that is, beta, alpha, all that shit. Like, I'm not saying those things don't matter. I'm not saying that, like, you know, it's helpful to be an alpha or it's not. I don't know ultimately. I think that women are attracted to alpha men. I think they're attracted to men who show dominance. I think they're attracted to leaders and things like that. But I don't know if that really is an indication of, like, oh, you're going to have a good relationship. It might be something where, like, guys try to do that. They try to use those, scenarios. There are guys who definitely try to amog other men. Like, that goes on a lot. You know what I mean? And I don't like that shit. Like, I don't. It's creepy. It's bothersome. It's like, why? It's like, why are you in competition with me? Like, there's plenty out there. If you have an abundant mindset, I don't know. I've always viewed myself as like a gamma alpha, where, like, I have alpha tendencies. I like to protect, take care of other people, things like that. I have always been attracted to the alpha, but I also have been attracted to sigma males as well. Like, I've been attracted to sigma males, but I'm more of a gamma male. I'm not the most successful male, and I'm not really that into society, right? But anyway, not to just keep going off about myself or things that I don't really want to talk about, but it's like, okay, red pill guys, the reason why I mention all that stuff is because red pill guys have this philosophy where, like, they say never put her on a pedestal, never pay her too much attention, always be in abundance, always, be chasing your passion, don't, always keep the masculine frame. But what is the masculine frame? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, so to them, the masculine frame is like a guy who is on his purpose, and it's really just, most of it's derived from, like, Rollo Tomasi. And for some reason, Rollo Tomasi has been associated with the red pill community. For some reason, Rollo Tomasi has been, like, put to the forefront. Now, I haven't read his book word for word. I'm sure there's lots of great info in that. I haven't read his book at all, but I've heard the synopsis, and I've heard people take his ideas and, apply them a lot. So to my knowledge, his major idea in his book, The Rational Male, is for a man to be on his purpose, is for a man to, be masculine, is for a man to exude these masculine qualities. And when a woman or when a man pays too much attention to a woman, she gets bored, because then she's the prize, and the truth is that she wants him to be the prize, and he needs to be, like, self-sufficient and self, kind of almost insular, and, like, not really show her that much emotion and things like that. And I always just thought that was weird. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, okay? Don't get me wrong. I just think that if you have to do that, if you can't be yourself, I don't know why you would want to be in a relationship with a woman. And it's something that has bothered me, particularly because I've had a relationship where I was ignoring a girl for a long time, and I was playing hard to get. What I was really doing was I was playing push and pull. I learned how to play push and pull from a friend of mine who I was hanging out with a lot, and he had really good ass push and pull game. He had a high. It was just a way that he did it, where he really made people think highly of him, more highly than he really was, because it was his mind state and his attitude, and it was a very push and pull type of attitude, right? He just had this sort of magnetism about him, and he was a sigma male, for sure. And so I sort of borrowed that aura from him, and it got me this girl. And, like, I was with this girl for a few years, and I stopped hanging out with that guy at a certain point, and then I was with her for a few years after that, and then somewhere along the line, I put her as the prize. Somewhere along the line, I started to like go back to my former self and sort of put her as the prize, right? So when that happened, she like, whoa, she pulled back, and then she lost interest in me totally. She was no longer that attracted to me, and I've never been able to recover that relationship. And I've tried, and she's even kind of came back and things like that. But because I have never recovered that frame, this is what I think. I don't know 100%, but this is what I think. Because I've never recovered that frame, because I've never, kept that sort of like playing hard to get frame with her anymore. She doesn't like me, and it's like, it hurts because it's like I had felt love, and I had felt how it was with her. At least when I say love, I mean a kind of love. But it's like, is that really love is my question. So that whole red pill thing, it's like, is that really love? Is that really, the whole Rollo Tomasi thing? And it's like, I don't even think Rollo Tomasi's in a relationship. So it's like, I think that his solution is a solution. It's a viable solution in the sense that, hey, yeah, that could work. But it's like, even if it does work, is that what you really want to be? And that girl who I was dating since went on to date and be in a relationship, which she still is in now, even though she's still talking to me, with this other guy he seems like a masculine guy. Seems like, at least on the outside. I don't know how he really is. So it's like, okay, well, I guess that's what she wanted. Is that what all women want? You know what I mean? And you have to wonder, you have to think about that kind of thing. But to get to my original point, I wanted to talk about, I kind of wanted to differentiate between red pill and Mgtow, because they are different. Even though Mgtow, adopts the red pill, the Mgtow solution is to walk away from women. Whereas the red pill solution is to create this, if you're not going to walk away from women, I mean, the red pill in and of itself is not necessarily a solution. The red pill in and of itself technically is just the truths, the bottom line truths that people don't like to talk about, about the government or about society, about women. And it can be negative. It can be very negative in the sense that, shit, that's depressing because it's true. And one problem there and one fear there is to go all the way overboard and say, yes, this is 100% true without exception. There are exceptions. It's just that maybe we don't see them very often. Maybe they're more rare. The mainstream truths are the red pill. And so I think many in the red pill community have come up with this solution like, oh, well, and I think it's a mix of PUA as well, PUA ideology. We're like, oh, okay, well, you got to game your girl. You got to keep this masculine frame. Da, da, da. This is all information that's floating around out there that people have been regurgitating and spouting and professing online and things like that. I don't know about all that. Like, the way I think is, if a girl loves you, she's going to love you for who you are. You don't have to pretend like you're some masculine man. You can just be whoever the fuck you are and stop trying to impress them. Stop trying to, it helps you go out and talk to them and help things like that. And like, sure, maybe some of these things are very true. Maybe some of these masculine frames and PUA tricks and shit like that. But I don't want that kind of girl that I got to fucking manufacture all this bullshit so that she can be attracted to me. I want the kind of girl who's like, I'm just attracted to you because I'm attracted to you. I just genuinely like you for you. You know what I mean? I genuinely love you for you. That's the girl that I want. And I just haven't been able to find her. And admittedly, I haven't been myself. Admittedly, I haven't, put myself out there as myself for various reasons. But And that's probably why I haven't found that girl. Or it's probably a large part of the reason why I haven't found that girl. The question is she out there? The question is, do I want to give up my other pursuits, such as, sex and random flings and things like that? Do I want to really go full bore into jumping into that commitment to finding the one? And then I got to figure out, well, shit, how am I even going to find the one in a world full of messed up women? And then there comes Mgtow, right? So then when you learn that, when you go on the dating sites and you learn that women are just as messed up, if not more messed up than the red pill alludes to, then you say maybe Mgtow is the answer. But the problem with Mgtow is it's 100% negative. Everything they say is 1,000% negative, and without exception, they say it's all women. AWALT, AWALT. All women are like that, and it's not true. But here's the catch: it's mostly true. These red pill truths about women in society are mostly true. I think it's the exception, not the norm, for a woman not to care about a guy's income, for a woman not to be shallow, for a woman to be pure and not be, not use goods and things like that. So there's all kinds of different angles and different ways to look at it, right? But bottom line, Mgtow men associate women with pain. They associate women with negative memories, negative experiences. This is why men go Mgtow. And I was there. I was in that camp for a while because I had nothing but negative experiences with women. And in fact, I was thinking about this even earlier tonight. I was thinking on my history, back in my history of women, and how I've just been fucked over again and again and again and again, and I've been used, and then I get online and a lot of these Pua guys, their answer is, you gotta change your mindset, man. Women aren't how you think they are. You gotta live in abundance. You gotta have all kinds of other options. You gotta ignore her. You gotta and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I remember my friend who was really, really good at that. And he was with some girl, and he finally ended up moving in with her. Then she didn't want to be with him anymore, and she dumped him. And now he's single, and he's miserable. He's depressed, even more depressed than he was before, because he did have some depression before he met her, I think. She just dumped him. Why? Because he probably was no longer hard to get anymore. He was no longer playing that game anymore. So yeah, okay, you can be in abundance up until the moment you get married. And then what? Then you can't be in abundance anymore. Or up until the moment you move in with a girl and you have to be faithful to her, then you can't be in abundance anymore, because she's not going to want to have threesomes with you forever. She's not going to want to sit around at home while you go out and game and you go clubbing. So these solutions that these Pua guys are coming up with aren't really solutions. That's not really a solution. That might be a solution to help you get laid, sure. Female nature is like, oh yeah, look at this guy, he's in abundance, all the other girls like him, I want him. Okay, up until you get him, and then what? Then you're like, oh shit, for some reason I'm no longer attracted to him anymore. Gee, could it be the fact that now he has to be faithful to you, and the only reason you liked him before was you thought he was this high status guy? I mean, what kind of fucked up... it's both the fucked up advice and it's fucked up biology. What came first? Probably the biology. So it's fucked up biology, and then it's fucked up advice in order to exploit and take advantage of that biology. The whole thing is FUBAR. The whole thing is fucked up beyond all recognition. Who would want a woman who is attracted to you because other women are attracted to you? What the fuck? That's wacky. If you're attracted to a guy, you're just attracted to the guy. Oh, but see, women have this whole other set. They have this whole other set of shit, right? Oh, he's got to have status, he's got to have masculinity, he's got to have money, all this dumb shit That is just not a part of who most guys are. Right? Most guys are just normal dudes. Most guys are not James Bond. Most guys are not fucking Dan Bilzerian. The phony ass Dan Bilzerian, the Kim Kardashian of the Instagram world. Okay? Most of us are not Jay-Z. Most of us are not Michael Jordan. Most of us are just average ass dudes, right? Who have feelings. We might not be the coolest. We might not be the nerdiest. We're just average ass dudes, most of us. And we're all trying to be extraordinary. We're all trying to be not average ass dudes. We're all trying to be alphas, and we're all trying to be successful, and we're all trying to be winners so that we can get the girl, we can get some pussy. And it's fucking stupid after a while. It just gets fucking stupid. Just like, what the fuck are we even doing? Or doing all this shit just to impress some whores. Just to impress some women who are not going to stick around with us when we go back to our normal ass self. That's what all poo is self-improvement. And yet there are some things you can genuinely self-improve. And that's cool. Up until the point where, like, you're just who you are. Oh, and then you're not enough for her, and she wants the guy who's extra. She wants the guy who's better than you. And it's just like, well, fuck that shit. I don't want you anyways. And that's where you get as a Mgtow guy. This is what I see in these Mgtow videos and all these red pill videos. These guys have just had it with women. They associate women with pain. Because they've been fucked over again and again and again. And how shallow and transient is female nature? Oh, she likes you when you're playing hard to get, but then when you start to act sweet and nice, and she doesn't want you anymore. How fucked up is that? Or how fucked up is, like, guys who even spend their whole lives to make a lot of money, and then they get a woman and then say they lose all their money, and then the woman leaves them. How fucking sad is that? Anyway, like, if you're out living in abundance or whatever so you can get laid, like, more power to you. That's fine. You've exploited a trick. You've exploited a hack in the female biology. That's cool. Like, I have no problem with that, because they're sluts anyways. They're gonna fuck around anyways. It's what they're out. It's why they're at the club. It's why they're out hoping to get hit on. They're trying to fuck, and you just exploited it. So good for you. I have no problem with that. You exploited a hack. Nope. I have zero issue with that. I have an issue with people saying, hey, you got to game your girlfriend. You got to game your wife. You got to play, like, Rollo Tomasi type shit. That's where I have an issue. Because that's where it's like, okay, well, it's fun to do it when, it's just about sex. But you got to do that shit your whole life. Like, something's fucking wrong. Something's fucking wrong. But yeah, Mgtow men associate women with pain. They associate women with pain because this is what they've seen their whole life. They've been ignored, they've been laughed at, they've been dumped, they've been cheated on. And it's hard not to agree with them. It's hard not to, man. Guys who don't, I think, have just really deluded themselves. You know what I mean? Because at some point you just have to look at it and be like, yeah, man, these women are fucked up. I don't know. I'm not the best looking guy. Maybe if I was better looking, I'd have a totally different viewpoint on women. I'd be like, yeah, women are pretty cool to me. It's not hard to get laid. It's not hard to find cool women because women have always responded very well to me. Well, maybe it's because you're good looking. Maybe there's something about you that they just want. And so you see the best side of them. But if you're not, if you're on the bad side of that, you're chopped liver, dude. They don't want you in their sphere. They don't want you in their world, man. And they're going to let you know. They're going to body language. They're going to, if you try to hit on them, they're going to say mean shit to you. You're going to get led on a lot. You're going to get blown off a lot. You're going to get, you're going to have some bad relationships where girls are mostly just taking and you're giving. You're going to get used for validation. You're going to get used for your attention. I mean, the list goes on. So Mgtow men associate women with pain, and it's pretty obvious why. It's It's not that hard to figure out. But anyway.